Hi everybody, welcome back to the Retro Ghetto, and today, with the help of some very special guests, we're going to be discussing which generation of console will be the last generation you collect for.
What you know about Retro Ghetto? Collecting and playing retro. Street Fighter on the Nintendo. I'm a veteran at this, not a pro. Lock into the Retro Ghetto. Come and have a look around in the ghetto. We got Sonic and Staples Settle. Lock into the Retro Ghetto.
Okay, so earlier in the month I had the absolute privilege of appearing over on the Retro Rivals channel as part of their Get to Know Gamer series. And whilst we're discussing my favourite games and all things gaming related, myself and Scott quickly stumbled into a conversation that we both had a lot to say about. And that was how we feel about current console generation collecting and where we think we might stop collecting in terms of our own unique collections and why. As a result of how much we had to say, we decided we're probably better off to make a video, and that's where we find ourselves here today. Very honoured to have those guys involved. I love the Retro Rivals channel. Those guys are absolute couple goals. So I'm going to give you their points of view shortly. But not only that, I've been blessed to have some of my favourite YouTubers get involved with this topic. Those guys are not only the reason why I'm sat in front of a camera now, because they inspired me to do so, but also after watching them for so many years, they're also the reason why a lot of the things you see behind me are sitting on these shelves. So yeah, to just be one bloke in England, sat in front of a camera in a small city, to have some of my favourite YouTubers get involved is an absolute honour. So before I give you my opinions on these subjects at the end of the video, sit back, relax and enjoy.
Why you gotta ask something like that? Why you gotta ask? Why you gotta put me on the spot? Well, I always think of like the cart-based stuff, you know, as the things to collect. The disc-based stuff, they're fine, they're great, they're fun. However, you know, they don't hold up to me as much as I enjoy the nostalgia of the cart-based stuff. Until I started collecting for PSVR. And I started collecting all the physical discs for the PlayStation VR because I'm such a VR gamer and I love it. So, to answer your question, I mean, I haven't stopped collecting since the PSVR. And there haven't been any PS5 discs yet for PSVR. But when that comes about, I'll probably collect those too. So as far as like, you know, collecting for nostalgia, that's all the old cart-based stuff. But for me personally, currently, man, I'm still going. I'm still going. I don't really consider myself much of a collector, but I happen to have a collection, and it's nice to have the option when the time comes around that you're like, oh yeah, I have that, and I'm glad I have it now, and I'm glad I'm not buying it 10 years from now when, you know, whatever is retail today is overpriced tomorrow. That makes sense. Gotta plan ahead.
Hey Retro Ghetto, thanks so much for inviting us to do this collab with you. It's something we were talking about on our Get to Know Gamer, and I'm so happy that we're able to have this discussion because I think it was something that you really got fired up about.
Because it worries me.
Yeah. Before we get too deep, and I'm sure he's already introed it, but the question is, when will we stop collecting? Is there a time to stop collecting? Because do we have to be concerned about our physical media potentially not working? And I mean, not just disc rot wise, but we're talking about, will the update be there? Like, will the patch be there for these games?
That's what concerns me.
Yeah.
When you get into the 8th and 9th gen, I have very little aspirations at all of collecting 9th gen.
Yeah.
I want to play 9th gen. I have the PS5 and I have the Xbox Series X, and so far there's nothing out. So far I've been playing nothing but old games.
Yeah, there's not a lot out. There's not a lot out that you can't still get on the 8th gen.
But problem with 8th gen, and we have a fair amount of PS4 games.
We do.
Problem with that is that you put it in and it's a huge update because there's a lot of games that are absolutely broken. And if that server's not there to update that game 10 years from now when you want to go back and play it and get that nostalgic feel for your Days Gone, which Days Gone is a perfect example of this. When it first came out, it was absolute trash.
It was, and it's a game I love, and a game that if we dwindle down the PS4 collection in the future to keep the games that we were really nostalgic about, that would be a game I'd keep.
Yep.
That would be a game I keep. Right now I'm playing The Evil Within 2, and I'm running into problems with it as well. So it does concern me, but I would want to collect for every generation. I'm a physical media collector.
I don't think...
It bothers me not to have that physical media.
There won't be physical media in the 10th gen. I guarantee it.
There will be companies that you can get. There will always be a limited run. There will always be a Play Asia that you'll be able to buy it because some people
there
will
won't be
want
disc drives.
I
don't
don't
think there will
know.
be.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong. I feel like there will be, just at a higher cost.
I feel like Nintendo will continue probably past.
Yeah.
I think when Sony and Microsoft get rid of their physical media, I feel like Nintendo may go a little bit farther because they have these little carts.
And they start it in.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different feel. I don't know what it is, but they started in that cartridge-based era, and they may continue on because that's part of Nintendo.
Yeah.
Where newer gamers may not choose to play those systems if they continue on with the Xbox and the PlayStation.
There will always be Nintendo fans.
There always, yeah.
Everybody loves Nintendo, or
Yeah.
most people at least. Like, I think the biggest part of our collection right now is 6th and 7th generation.
Yes.
And even when you're getting into the 7th gen stuff, there's
issues.
There's issues.
Yeah,
8th gen, when you're getting into the PS4 stuff, much bigger issues.
Much bigger issues.
Much bigger games, and they rush them out. They have deadlines, and the game's broken most of the time when it comes out.
Yeah.
I have to look into it more, but my plans are, like, if I can take a PlayStation 4, have no Wi-Fi or nothing hooked up, if I can throw the disc in and play it, that'll be something I keep in my collection. If I cannot, that's something I'm probably going to trade out for something older that I want anyway.
And I'm probably not going to be okay with it. I don't
I
know.
know.
I'm a PlayStation fangirl. Like, that PlayStation 4 is my life. I love it. So it would be hard.
But if you can't play it,
I know.
you have a coaster. You have a coaster.
That's true.
For my drink.
That's
to put
true.
It on because
And
it's useless.
who's going to buy it?
Yeah.
Who's going to buy it? So yeah, in a nutshell, it's going to be challenging to want to collect past PS3 and Xbox 360.
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. I think moving forward, I want to play the 8th, 9th gen, and on 10th generation games. I want to play those games, but will I collect? No, I won't keep. I don't think I'm keeping the 8th gen long term. I'm thinking within 5 years, I have to really scale back and trade towards the older stuff that I know I can take a disc or a cart or whatever and put it in my machine. I don't have to worry about the internet. Boom, game comes on, works, and I can enjoy myself. That's where I feel. I know you don't like that. We may get divorced in 5 years.
I'll take the PS4 collection. And
You can have the PS4 collection. I'll take everything else.
Okay.
So the generation that I'm gonna stop collecting physical video games. To be honest, I think it already stopped for me with cartridge. Now I know I do like to collect my disc-based games here and there, but I've never found myself really attached to collecting anything physical that's disc-based. Because when it comes to cartridge, I feel like there's so much more there, there's so much more value to hold, not only just in the video game, that's hearsay, what you think about that, but as far as what I'm actually holding and collecting just feels like a better piece to display. Now that's not me saying that there aren't great and amazing CD-based video games from the GameCube on to all the way till now to current gen. That's just me saying on the collecting aspect, I never feel any sort of sense of gratitude. Even when these games are sealed or complete, I'm not stoked when I find a CD-based game complete, other than the fact that, hey, maybe it's worth some money. But as far as collecting, because we're talking about collecting, cartridge stuff, Super Nintendo, Genesis, 32X, and kind of pushing anywhere else, Jaguar, people say I'm saying it wrong all the time, whatever. That's kind of where I draw the line as far as enjoying collecting retro. So for me, kind of ended with the cartridge days. Definitely going past CD stuff that's now current. I'll never collect them. In a collecting, desiring standpoint. The airplane's coming. Gotta go.
Probably the last console, it should put more consoles for me, I guess. The last consoles I'll probably end up collecting, like hardcore, truly for, will be the Wii U. Yeah, I'll still get like stuff for other ones, like here and there. It's like just stuff I want. But if I think of like an actual like collection, it'll probably be the Wii U. when I collect, I love collecting like I do for like the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and 64. It's almost like you're collecting that for the memories. It's like, oh, remember back in the day when we used to play this? It's like you're thinking of your childhood. So the Wii U to me is like, that's what me and my kids play. That's our jam. That's what they love. They love opening up the amiibos, playing with that. But it's what we play, and it's like I'm collecting their childhood. It's kind of awesome. I collected my childhood, now I'm collecting theirs. And hopefully, like in 10 years, I can go back and be like, dude, remember when we used to play this? So I guess for me, I love collecting. Collecting is awesome. If you love the game, collect for it. It's awesome. But for me, like the hardcore collecting, it's more for like a hardcore collection. It's more memories for me. It's something that I don't know. I just love it.
What's up, guys? Jay from the Game Chasers here. The question is, when will I stop collecting video games? Well, the short of it is, I won't. And what I mean by that is, as long as there's physical media coming out, I will continue to purchase those games. And starting back in the PlayStation 2 days, I made a conscious decision to stop trading stuff in. So at my core, I am a gamer first. So as long as new games are being released with physical versions of that I can go and pick up, well, then I will forever be collecting those video games.
Okay, so I think we've reached that point in the show where it's time for me to give my opinion. It's a very difficult conversation to give a very black and white answer on. The reason being is, when I first watched the videos of those amazing content creators that you guys have just seen, I found myself agreeing with every single one of them. There's so many different points of view, and that's why I thought this would be a great conversation starter to put out there. Where I'm at right now, my Xbox One collection and my PlayStation 4 collection are quite small. I've never really, dove into those collections with both feet forward as I have some of my other systems that I collect for. I think I'm going to continue to collect the Weird and the Wonderful, the steelbooks, the special editions, the limited edition sleeve covers, and more from a collector of physical media point of view rather than a gaming library point of view like I do for some of the other systems that I collect for. The caveat to that is the Nintendo Switch. I absolutely love that system and I love collecting for it. I've had so much fun. That's one of the only systems I ever had on day one, and I've got a genuine love and affinity for that system, and I think it's something I will always continue to collect for. Maybe it's because I grew up with Nintendo, so I'm a bit of a Nintendo fanboy. Maybe it's because it's cartridge based. I don't really know. I just know that I'm enjoying it, so therefore I'm not going to stop doing it. In terms of going forwards, looking at PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S, X, I don't even know what it's called. I'm not currently in the market for those games. I don't even own the systems just yet. Until there's certain games come out, God of War, I'm not going to be in a rush to buy anyway. I think with those systems, I might just collect special editions and collector's editions of games and franchises that I have a real love and affinity for. And then going forwards, I envisage that we're going to be in a predominantly download and digital based marketplace, which, as you can see from the view behind me, it's not something that I look forward to, but you have to draw a line in the sand somewhere. Am I right, guys? You can't collect for everything. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Again, I want to give a massive thank you to everybody that's got involved with this video. Some of the content creators that you've seen, not only from a YouTube perspective, but as a fan. I'm an absolute huge fan of some of these guys. And they're the reason that I sit in front of a camera and make content, and also have helped me to rediscover my love for gaming and collecting. So thank you so much for all those people that took the time out of their busy schedules to get involved. But I want to open up this question to you guys, content creators, viewers of the channel. Let me know in the comment sections. Where do you stand on this debate? So many points of view, and I haven't heard one yet that I disagree with. So let me know when you're going to stop collecting and why. Thanks as always for taking the time to watch the Retro Ghetto. I appreciate every one of you. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care. Play your games. Keep it retro.
Retro Ghetto.